Hello, this is Shakib Gaji and we were discussing about geometrical optics. So see this problem. These problems, the entire problems, these derivations will not be coming in examination, but the final answer can work as a formula to find the numerical value of this type of question. See, suppose we have a plate with a refractive index of nu. A light beam is being incident on this plate, creating an angle I, the incident angle with the normal, and then it's being refracted and it creates an angle R. The refraction angle is R, and again at the end of this plate it's being refracted away from the normal, since it's a lighter medium, it's a denser medium. So again this light ray will go away from the normal and it go out of the plate eventually. So they asked to find that if there were no plate and we were to put the light, or the light were being incident without having this plate, the light would have traversed in this direction, in this dotted direction. But due to the having of this plate, the light was bended and eventually the light traversed in this direction. So since we have this plate, the light traversed in this path. Without this plate, the light would have traversed in this path. So they ask you to find the distance between this path and this path, that is, we named it as x. So suppose the length of this, the thickness of this plate is d, and the refractive ray, the length of this ray is s, and the angle, since this is the refractive angle, but if there were no plate, the light would have gone in this path. So, and we have know the characteristics of vertically opposite angle. So this angle is I. So the entire this angle would have been I as well. And since this portion of the angle is R, so the remaining portion of the angle will be I minus R. So they have told you to prove that x, that is the distance between the light would have traversed versus the light actually traversed, that is this distance, x is equals to d, that is thickness, into sine of incident angle I, bracket 1 minus cos I root over nu square minus sine square I. So for the solution, see, if I take the triangle, if I take this triangle, let me write that. If I take the triangle ABC, see, we took the triangle ABC, and in triangle ABC, if we take the cos ratio of the refractive angle cos R, we know that is cos theta is equals to adjacent side by hypotenuse. So see, the adjacent side for refractive angle R, this is the adjacent side, and that is actually the thickness of this plate, that is d, divided by the hypotenuse s. So we can find the value of s is equals to d by cos R. Again, if we take the triangle ACD, see, the triangle ACD is also a right angle triangle. So in that right angle triangle, if we take sine of this angle, that is I minus R, we can get, we know the sine theta is equals to opposite by hypotenuse. So the opposite side of this angle is x, so x, and hypotenuse is s, so x by s. So in this way we can find that x, because we were actually meant to find the value of x, that is x is equals to the rest of the expressions. So we got x is equals to s into sine I minus R. Now see, we have already found the value of s, that is d by cos R. So we put the value of s, so x is equals to d by cos R into sine I minus R. Now we know a formula, trigonometric formula of sine A minus B, that is sine A cos B minus cos A sine B. So this I is our A and R is the B. So x is equals to d cos R into sine I cos R minus cos I sine R. So if you multiply, see, this cos R and this cos R gets cancelled out. So again, if you found that x is equals to sine I, so this cos R is being cancelled out, and cos I by d into cos I into sine R, cos I into sine R by this cos R, cos R. Now we know the formula for refractive index nu is equals to sine I by sine R. So from here we can find the value of sine R is equals to sine I by nu. See, in these equations, all the ratio cos theta and sine theta are in terms of incident angles. There is no refractive angles. So, but in these equations of x, see, we have sine I, there is I, we have cos I, but the problem arises in this R value, that is refractive angle value. We don't have any refractive angle in the main equation that we have to prove. But here we have sine R and cos R that we have to remove. Okay, sorry for the interruptions. I have no idea why the video stopped. So we were discussing that since the equations in the main equations that we have to prove, there are all the angles, all the ratio are in angle of incident angle I. But in this derived equations that we have derived are we have the angles, that is the refractive angles and refractive angles in cos ratio and is also in sine ratio that we don't have in the main equation. So we know our formula, that is mu is equals to, that refractive index is equals to sine I by sine R. From these equations we can swap the value of sine R, that is sine R is equals to sine I by nu, and we can put this value of sine R in this equation. So now putting the equation of sine R in equation, suppose let we give this is an equation 1. So putting the equation of putting the value of sine R in equation 1, we have x is equals to d sine I. X is equals to d sine I minus cos I sine R. In place of sine R we will be putting sine I by nu and cos R cos R. Now see, x is equals to d sine I. If we take common, see, d sine I, we have both the terms in both we have d sine I in both of the terms. So we can take d sine I common. So we have 1 minus cos I by nu. Now see, cos R. For cos R we can write the formula that we know, sine square plus cos square is equals to 1. So cos square is equals to 1 minus sine square. So cos R is equals to root over 1 minus sine square R. So 1 minus cos I and this nu. Now sine R, since we have already found that sine R is equals to sine I by nu, we can put the value of sine R into this equation and find that sine square R is equals to sine square I by nu square. Now if we have the LCM of this, see, this nu, since this nu is also having a root over, so eventually root over nu square will be given as 1 by nu. So this 1 by nu into this nu, this will get eventually cancelled out. So finally we will get our desired equation, that is x is equals to d sine I cos I. This nu and this nu will get cancelled, nu square minus sine square I. So I hope you understood this equation. Derivation, this derivation is not very important for exam. It will never come, it won't come. However, this is actually can be used as a formula, and just it's a refreshment of the mind. Please do 1 or 2 times, and that's it for today. Please study and enjoy. Thank you.